I sure hope you listen to the story because it actually made me cry. It's a story of a father and son who were in business together, and they collected fine art, and they would travel the world looking for that priceless piece of art, and they really enjoyed themselves doing this. Unfortunately, the son was called off to war. He had to go to the Vietnam War, so he left. About 6 months later, there was a knock at the door, and the father opened the door, and he was informed that his son was killed in action while saving 4 other soldiers. And obviously, this really impacted the father. About 6 months later, he receives another knock at the door, and it's a young man, and he says, "Sir, I am one of the men that your son saved, and I want to show you something." So he pulls out this portrait, and it's a portrait of the father's son that this young man painted while they were having some downtime in the battlefield. And this father, who had a lot of experience of art, looked at it for about 2 to 3 minutes and started just bawling and said, "I'll pay you anything for this portrait." And the young man said, "No, it's not for sale. I'm going to give it to you because of what your son did for me." And so the father took the painting, he put it up on his mantle, and he was very proud of it, and he called the painting The Son. And so he would actually be very excited to show this to friends and family when they came over his other art collection. So anyway, long story short, the father passed away a year later. There was an auction, and people from all around the world with great anticipation showed up because they wanted to see if they could buy some of this priceless art. And so the first art that went off for sale was The Son, the amateur portrait. And people in the audience were laughing and just saying, "What in the heck is this? We came for the other priceless art pieces." But the auctioneer was persistent, and he kept saying $100, $200, and nobody would bid on this picture of the son. And it just for 3 to 4 minutes, and then all of a sudden there was a faint voice in the back who said, "I'll purchase it for $20," and it turned out to be the gardener of the family. And so the auctioneers, one last try, anybody wants to pay $100, $200 for it? Nobody bid. And so it went to this man for $20. And so the auctioneer told everybody the auction is now closed. Well, that really irated everybody, and they are wondering and demanding an answer why the auction is closed. And the auctioneer said, "I'm sorry, but there was a stipulation in the will that whoever bought the son received the entire art collection." And the moral of the story is that God gave his son 2,000 years ago. And whoever receives the son receives everything. Now that's priceless.